She told me my ex is back and you don't need the details. So I quietly canceled our vacation and booked a solo trip instead. When she came home to an empty apartment and a beach selfie from me, she finally realized I was done being the backup plan. I've been with Emily for 3 years. Long enough to learn her coffee order, her nervous habits, her favorite rom-coms, and the exact way she smirks when she's hiding something. That smirk was the first red flag. It happened on a Wednesday night, the kind that feels like filler, nothing special. We were on the couch, half watching a cooking show, half scrolling on our phones. She got a text, looked at her screen, then angled her phone away from me in the most obvious way possible. I didn't say anything. She kept typing, smiling. Then she cleared her throat like she was about to drop something casual but not casual. "My ex is back in town," she said, brushing her hair behind her ear. "He wants to catch up." I paused the TV. "Okay." She gave me that smirk, the one that always meant she thought she had the upper hand. The one that told me she already made up her mind. "You don't need to know the details," she said. "It's just catching up. Don't be controlling." I nodded once. Slow. Quiet. Sure. She expected an argument. She expected jealousy, begging, insecurity, something to reaffirm that she mattered more than my self-respect. But I didn't give her that. She raised an eyebrow. "That's it? Just sure?" "Yeah," I said, unpausing the show. "Do what you want." She didn't like that answer, because suddenly she didn't feel like the one in control. The next morning, she left early. Hair done. Cute outfit. Not her usual work clothes. She claimed she had an early meeting. I didn't comment on it. Instead, on my way to work, I opened the travel app we'd used to plan our upcoming trip. A 5-day beach vacation we'd been talking about for months. One we almost fought about because she wanted a more Instagram-worthy hotel and I wanted something quieter. I scrolled to the booking. 5 days from now. Fully refundable until midnight. I stared at it for maybe 10 seconds. Then hit cancel. Refund processed. I didn't feel angry. I didn't feel sad. Mostly, I felt relieved. Like I'd been carrying someone else's expectations for too long, and someone finally cut the straps. On my lunch break, I booked a new trip. Same dates, different destination. Somewhere warm. Somewhere peaceful. Somewhere I wouldn't have to pretend to be chill while my girlfriend was catching up with an ex she clearly never emotionally left. One ticket, just my name on it. That night, Emily was extra sweet. She hugged me longer, kissed my cheek, called me babe more times than usual. She thought she was covering her tracks. "Work was so exhausting today," she said dramatically, kicking off her shoes. "Yeah," I replied. She waited for me to ask questions. I didn't. She kept glancing at me, testing the waters. Finally, she said, "You're being weird. Are you mad about something?" Nope. I didn't give her validation. And that, more than anything, made her uneasy. She went to bed early. I stayed up, packing a suitcase quietly in the guest room. Just the essentials. No drama. No big emotional gestures. Just preparing for a trip she didn't know existed. And honestly, it felt amazing. 2 days later, she dressed up again. She left early again. She gave me vague, flimsy explanations again. I stopped caring. On the morning of the trip, she didn't even come home. She sent a text at 6 a.m., crashing at me as, "Don't wait up for breakfast." I read it while sitting at the airport bar with a whiskey, boarding pass already in my pocket. I didn't reply. When my phone buzzed again, I ignored it. And again, and again, she assumed I was asleep, or clueless, or waiting at home like a good, quiet boyfriend. Meanwhile, my flight was boarding. I put my phone on airplane mode, leaned back in my seat, and for the first time in months, my chest felt light. No jealousy, no anxiety, no wondering what she was doing. Just freedom, the kind she claimed she needed so badly. Little did I know she would absolutely lose her mind when she realized what I did with mine. That MY flight landed mid-afternoon. Warm air, ocean breeze, sunlight hitting my face. Everything felt like a reset button. I turned my phone back on. It vibrated nonstop. Text after text. Missed calls. Voicemails. All from Emily. At first, I didn't open any of them. I let them pile up while I checked into the hotel, dropped my suitcase, and took a long shower. The kind where the water pressure is strong enough to drown out every last piece of someone else's drama. After that, I walked to the beach bar, ordered a drink, sat facing the ocean. Only then did I check my phone. The first message was harmless. "Hey babe, are you awake?" Timestamp, 8:12 a.m. Then, did you leave for work early? Can you answer? Then, slowly shifting. Why aren't you home? Did you lock the door from the outside? Where's your car? Then the tone snapped into panic. Daniel, where are you? Call me right now. I swear if you're ignoring me just to be dramatic. I kept scrolling. Then came the one that made me laugh out loud. Did you seriously leave town? Her next message came exactly 1 minute later. I'm at the apartment. Your stuff is gone. What is going on? Another string of missed calls. Then, this isn't funny. She still thought it was about her. About making her jealous. About getting a reaction. Nope. This was about peace. This was about clarity. This was about finally letting her sit in the silence she told me she needed. I took a selfie, beach behind me, sunglasses on, drink in hand. The happiest I'd looked in months. I waited until I finished half the drink. Then I sent it. Enjoy catching up with your ex. I'm catching up on myself. And turned my phone face down. Hours later, after a nap and a swim, I checked my phone again. The messages were no longer angry. They were frantic, shaky, blurry, misspelled typing like someone crying too hard to see properly. Daniel, please answer. I didn't actually meet him. It was a stupid joke. Where are you? Please don't do this. Then, I'm sorry. I laughed again, but this time it felt sadder. Not for her. For me. For putting up with so much uncertainty for so long. Then she sent, Babe, I didn't mean it like that. Please tell me where you are. I didn't answer. Instead, I went to dinner by the water, took photos of the seafood platter, the sunset, the little flameless candles on the table. Not for her, not to make a point. Just to remind myself that this is what calm looks like. But later that night, she called again. This time, she left a voicemail. Her voice sounded nothing like the girl who smirked at me 2 days ago. It was breaking. Daniel, please. I didn't think you'd actually leave. I didn't think you'd ever. I don't know. Please just call me back. I'm scared. Please. I listened once, then deleted it. She texted again at nearly 2 a.m. I came home to talk and you weren't there. I'm freaking out. Please answer. Please. I put the phone down and slid the balcony door open. The ocean breeze hit me. The waves kept their steady rhythm, the kind of rhythm no person can interrupt. And in that moment, I realized something simple and painfully obvious. She didn't miss me. She missed the stability, the convenience, the guarantee that I would always be there waiting. I took one photo, the moon reflecting on the water, and saved it for myself. No messages, no explanations, no attempts to soothe her ego, just silence. And the knowledge that this time, the silence was healthy. This time, the silence was mine. Update. I woke up on my third morning in paradise to the sound of gulls and waves. Not notifications, not arguments, not someone pacing around the apartment demanding explanations. My phone had 47 unread messages. I didn't open them yet. I stretched, ordered breakfast to the balcony, and watched the sun climb over the water. Halfway through my coffee, curiosity won, and I finally checked the first batch of texts. The tone had changed again. Daniel, are we breaking up? Did you leave me? Please just tell me what's happening. Then, I didn't even meet my ex. Right under that. Okay, I met him. But it wasn't like that. Then 5 minutes later. Fine. I shouldn't have gone. I'm sorry. Then, can we talk when you get home? Please. I exhaled slowly. She still thought I was coming home. Around noon, she tried calling again. When I didn't pick up, she sent, Your location is off. Why is your location off? Finally, after almost an hour of silence, Are you still in the country? I sent one reply for the entire morning. Enjoy your space. That was it. Her reply came back instantly. A wall of text, emotional whiplash in digital form. I don't need space. I was upset when I said that. Can you please not be petty? Just tell me where you are so I can come talk. That last one made me smile. She wanted to come talk? To fix something now that she felt it slipping? But there was no fixing anything. Not because I was filled with resentment, but because I felt absolutely nothing at all. That was the worst sign of all. At 4 p.m., she escalated to something predictable, showing up at my apartment. She must have expected me to answer or crack the door open, look disheveled and guilty, eager to reconcile. Instead, the cameras caught her banging on the door, calling my name, then trying the handle. A minute later came a shaky voice message. Daniel, your car is gone. Where are you? Are you with someone? I didn't bother answering. My hotel bartender slid another drink toward me. Long week, he asked. You have no idea. That night, as I lay in the hotel hammock, another message came through, but this one finally showed the real reason she was spiraling. Did you cancel the vacation? I stared at the screen. So she'd gone to check the reservation, probably imagining the two of us flying out together, making up, taking cute couple photos to wash away the guilt she didn't want to admit. I typed, yes. A pause. Then, why? Because we're not going on one. Another message. What does that even mean? Then, are you actually serious? You left the state? Then, why would you do that? I took a picture, not of myself this time, but of the beach at night. The water glowing blue under the moonlight. Peaceful. Untouched. Exactly the opposite of home. I sent it with 2 words. Because I could. At 1:46 a.m., she sent the message that told me everything I needed to know. Not an apology. Not accountability. Not reflection. Just, I thought you'd wait for me. And for the first time in years, I finally understood. She never loved me for who I was. She loved that I stayed, no matter how she treated me. Now that I wasn't staying, she didn't know what to do. Final update that I didn't plan some dramatic finale. I didn't plan revenge. I didn't even plan a conversation. I just kept living my life, something she never expected me to do without her. By day 5 of my trip, she wasn't angry anymore. She was unraveling. I woke up to 7 missed calls, 3 voicemails, and a text that was basically a meltdown typed through tears. Please just tell me when you're coming home. I'll pick you up. I swear I'll make it right. Please. 20 minutes later. Please don't leave me like this. And then the truth slipped through. The kind that only comes out when someone is desperate. I only met him because I was mad you weren't paying attention to me. Nothing happened. I swear. There it was. Not remorse, insecurity. Not regret, fear. Fear of losing her safety net. I didn't reply. I went snorkeling. When I got back, the next message hit harder. I checked the airline. You never booked a return flight. She must have logged into our shared email, hoping to find a ticket home. Instead, she found nothing. Then another message. Daniel, are you moving there? I laughed, not because the idea was ridiculous, but because it wasn't. That's when it hit me. I wasn't fleeing her. I wasn't punishing her. I wasn't avoiding conflict. I was simply choosing peace. And peace didn't include her. That evening, while I was eating dinner by the ocean, she tried something new. Her mother called me. That was a surprise. I didn't answer. A voicemail came through. Daniel, sweetheart. Emily is worried sick. She says you left suddenly. We're concerned. Please call. I didn't. This wasn't their problem. It wasn't a family crisis. It wasn't a tragedy. It was a consequence. Something Emily had never faced before. Later that night, the message came that told me everything about who she really was. When you get back, we can talk about rules. I'll stop seeing my ex if that's what you want. If that's what you want. As if loyalty was a negotiable accessory she could take on and off. I took a long breath, stood up from my dinner table, and walked down to the water. The moon made the whole beach glow silver. The kind of quiet that forces you to hear yourself. I typed slowly. No anger. No sarcasm. No drama. Just truth. I'm not coming back to you. Almost instantly a reply. What? Then. We can fix this. You're just upset. Then. Please don't say that. Then. I'll do anything. The desperation was suffocating. I finally sent one final message. You wanted space. Now you have all of it. Then I blocked her. Not out of spite. Out of necessity. When my flight home happened a week later, home as in my city, not her, I walked into my apartment and felt something I hadn't felt in years. Relief. The place was quiet. My plants were alive. My suitcase was lighter than when I left. I showered, made myself dinner, put on music, and didn't think of her until my doorbell rang. I already knew who it was. Emily stood there, hair messy, eyes swollen, breathing heavy like she'd sprinted up the stairs. Daniel, she whispered, please. Please can we talk? I stepped into the doorway, blocking her from entering. She looked around me, as if expecting to see another woman. There wasn't one. Just me, and the piece I chose. What do you want to talk about? I asked calmly. She swallowed. I didn't think you'd actually leave. And I didn't think you'd want to catch up with your ex, I said. Yet here we are. Her face crumpled. It was stupid. I was stupid. I was insecure. I just wanted attention. And you got it, I said. Just not from me. She wiped her eyes. I can change. I already did, I replied. I changed my mind. She stepped forward like she might touch me, then froze when she saw that I didn't move an inch. I didn't hate her. I didn't want revenge. I didn't want her humiliated. I just didn't want her anymore. You said you'd always be there, she whispered. I said, until you told me I didn't need to be. She stared at me for a long, long time. And for the first time since we met, I watched her understand something without denial, without spinning it, without excuses. She finally realized what it felt like when someone stops waiting. I nodded once, gently, and closed the door. Not loud, not dramatic, just final. And on the other side of the wood, I heard the quietest sound. Not anger, not shouting, not pleading. Just a small, broken. I didn't think he meant it. But I did. And I walked away.